In the uneasy cold of January 1971, the Perron family, including Roger and Carolyn Perron, and their 5 daughters, Andy, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, took residence in a 14-room farmhouse, which was in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Once upon a time, a dream was fulfilled. A lot of space and a nice home placed on 200 acres of land, country tranquility and rustic whims. The dream got fragmented right at the start. The weird phenomena emerged innocuously. Carolyn realized that something kept doing to her broom as it kept disappearing or being left sitting anywhere other than where she left it. Faint heaps of ground lay on the floor right after she had swept it. The lights went on and off. The doors creaked and slowly opened, and one could hear faint whispers, as though they called the girls by name, said the voice. The girls started talking about the appearance of spirits, some of them good and some of them scary. The family would see transitions of shadows moving around the corner, or someone reflected into something that was not anywhere in the room. Their dog would not go into parts of the house and used to bark at imaginary intruders with crest bristling and eyes dilated in fright. Next, there were the smells. The smell of rotten meat filling the room and then disappearing in just a moment. However, the worst hours surrounded Carolyn. She would literally wake up at 5:15 every morning, not able to breathe, and in the feeling that somebody is watching her. Her ears would always pick up on the sounds of dragging, which no one would hear in the attic. Gradually, she became pale, weak, and paranoid, which believed that there was something in the house that had a desire to get rid of her. There would be mystery bruises on her skin. In some cases, dizziness would accompany severe pangs of pain that entered her legs and back, like sewing needles piercing the skin. One night she was discovered in the parlor, unconscious and bleeding after she supposedly was hurled across the room by unseen hands. At some point, the Perrons made the entities to have names. One of those spirits was a young boy called Manny, who was innocent and even helpful a little bit, moving objects delicately or silently rocking in a chair. And one name was dreadful: Bathsheba. They said, locally, that the property had been inhabited by Bathsheba Sherman in the mid-1800s. She was accused of being a witch and, worse still, of killing her baby and selling her soul to the devil and then hanging herself in the barn. People talked about her brutality and animal sacrifice, but no historical facts supported these facts. Be the story as it might, the reality of that occupant of the residence the Perrons referred to as Bathsheba was certainly not an imagination. This was a violent spirit which slapped, pinched, and tortured girls, and mostly Carolyn. Her body would turn cold, and sometimes she would talk in other voices. Her daughters on some occasions observed her being levitated and hurled to the ground. Carolyn started to be distant, hollow-eyed, and sometimes unrecognizable. Desperate, the family was contacting the paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, a married couple famed to deal with such cases. Lorraine, a fortune-teller on her part, stated that she immediately sensed the evil around the house, not of the entire household, but specifically targeting Carolyn. The Warrens thought that Bathsheba was trying to possess them completely. They started researches and spiritual interventions. Lorraine referred to the haunting as a house of sorrow, death, and rage. One very sharp session caused Carolyn to sink into convulsive fits. She shrieked in an unrecognizable voice with the wayward profane abuse in Latin. Her chair flew out of its wheelchairs and crashed down to the ground. She could not recollect anything when it finished. Roger, in rage and terror, yelled at the Warrens to get out and stay out. The lapse of that night has led the family to refuse to take further interventions. Rather, they were taught how to coexist with the spirits. They were tortured and subjected to horrors without a reason, almost a decade. The girls have spent their life in the clutches of haunting house, and everyone is scarred, some physically, many others emotionally. They vacated at last in 1980, yet the souls never forsook them. The daughter, Andrea Perron, the eldest, authored a series of memoirs called House of Darkness, House of Light, which outlined the actual events that became the basis of the same titled film released in 2013, The Conjuring. She says the movie did not reach even a part of what actually occurred, 1,000 frightful nights we slept. Until now, weird things are still being reported by the people who are currently the owners of the farmhouse at Harrisville. Even paranormal investigators still visit, truly recording EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, mysterious shadows, cold spots. Others think it is the cursed land itself, seeped with sorrow of centuries ago. Was it the vengeful spirit of Bathsheba that came to haunt the Perrons, or something much older, darker, feeds upon fear and rage and suffering? Nobody is certain. However, there is a thing that can be definitely stated. The Perron family did not think their dream house would turn into the most moralizing true